Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be talking about an article that was written recently over by the folks at NFL.com, and in this article, they ranked some of the NFL's general managers by their drafting abilities. Now, they excluded a handful of general managers, I believe it was 9, simply because they just haven't had enough time in the league yet to warrant any kind of ranking and get enough research done, but still, there were plenty of guys on this list, and we're not going to go too deep into the list, but there is an interesting ranking here that we should all talk about. You can imagine where I'm going with this. So, number 1 was Chris Ballard of the Indianapolis Colts. Makes sense. That guy is a phenomenal drafter. He really has done a wonderful job of building up that Indianapolis Colts team, both on offense and on defense. Number 2 was Kevin Colbert of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's a big inspiration for me personally and the career path I want to try and take in the sports world. But also, again, this ranking makes sense. He is a very good drafter. He has made very good picks time and time again. And then number 3 was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' own general manager, Jason Licht, which if you guys remember in articles past, in years before, Jason Licht has never been up this high. In fact, he ranks towards the bottom in most of these lists. But coming off of a Super Bowl win and, the success that they have had due to some of these draft picks, that bumped up Jason Licht's ranking. And I'm making this video in part to say that, yes, this ranking makes sense to me. Again, much like Kevin Colbert, Jason Licht, huge inspiration for what I want to do in the field of sports. But again, Jason Licht's a good drafter. And I think going into this NFL draft, makes sense that an article like this would be made. I'll have a screenshot of it somewhere here in the video. But again, I'm feeling really good about going into this NFL draft, not just because of the situation the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in. They just won the Super Bowl, and they have a lot of flexibility with their draft picks, but I feel very confident in the people who are making those decisions, one of those people being Jason Licht. And I also want to dispel some of the stigma that has been surrounding this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team since they have won the Super Bowl. I've seen a lot of national people say, oh man, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they bought their Super Bowl, they got Tom Brady, they bought the Super Bowl because they got Tom Brady in as a free agent addition, and all these guys just came together, on cheap paydays just to help Tom Brady win and help the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win. That is not accurate in any way, shape, or form. Just taking a look and just doing a minimal amount of research, you will see that is completely inaccurate. And trust me, I did my research, guys. So this is a list of the starters, just the starters alone, that Jason Licht has either, at least had a hand in drafting. And it goes like this: Mike Evans, Donovan Smith, Ali Marpet, Tristan Wirfs, Chris Godwin, Ronald Jones, Vita Vea, Devin White, Carlton Davis, Sean Murphy-Bunting, Jamel Dean, Antoine Winfield Jr., and Jordan Whitehead. Those guys were all starters throughout the course of this season. And Alex Kappa as well. Sorry, I forgot him. He was injured on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers website. But Alex Kappa as well, can't forget about him. That is well over half of the starters who were insanely high contributors to the success the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had in this most recent season. And that's not even considering some of the high-end role players that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had throughout this season. Guys like Scotty Miller, Tyler Johnson, Khalil Davis, Anthony Nelson, Ryan Smith, Mike Edwards, and O.J. Howard, who unfortunately was hurt. But I feel like if he would have played the whole year, he would have done really good. And again, even some undrafted guys, Tanner Hudson and Cam Brate, can be included in this list as well because they're, kind of a part of that draft class. The point I'm trying to make is that Jason Licht has had a large hand in, drafting this team to success. His fingerprints are all over the place on this team in terms of bringing in these players, helping cultivate them, and build to this success. It's been a slow build in some ways, but overall it is crescendoed into a Super Bowl win most recently with Tom Brady. Now, I know that people are going to roll their eyes, when they watch this video and go, oh man, Jason Licht, he sucks. Come on, James. A kicker in the 2nd round, Roberto Aguayo. A kicker in the 5th round, Matt Gay. Dude, what are you talking about? He's had misses left, right, and center. And actually in the article, you guys saw it in the screenshot, they listed Jason Licht's worst draft pick as Vernon Hargreaves, a former 11th overall pick cornerback out of Florida, which was surprising to me. I would have easily put one of the kickers, but one of the things that I've always been, respected to Jason Licht is how quickly he's willing to move on to mistakes that he may have made as a general manager. He moved on from Roberto Aguayo in pretty quick order. He moved on from Matt Gay in pretty quick order. Free agent flops, he moves on from those as well. He's like, this didn't work, my bad, let's move on from it. And I think that's very respectable. And I think when you compare the pros to the cons in terms of Jason Licht's draft resume as a whole, the pros very, very, very heavily outweigh the cons. A lot of people's favorite players that they have today, Jason Licht had a hand in bringing in. So, when I see this ranking of Jason Licht, 3rd best drafting general manager in the league right now today, it makes a lot of sense to me. It really does. I think that is a perfect ranking for Jason Licht. If you sit down, you do your research, you look at how this team has been built up by Jason Licht, and yes, adding Tom Brady, of course that's going to help. Of course it is. Adding Rob Gronkowski, Antonio Brown, Shaq Barrett, Jason Pierre-Paul, yes, of course those guys are going to help. Ndamukong Suh, yeah, those guys are all going to help. But you can't ignore the fact that Jason Licht has had a large amount of draft picks work out in his favor. First round, it's around 50-50, but rounds 2 to 4, he's been absolutely money. You cannot deny that, besides the kicker pick, Roberto Aguayo. So, going into this draft, I feel very confident about the people who are making these decisions, Jason Licht being one of those main people. The Buccaneers have the most flexibility that they have had in the draft in as long as I can remember, and with Jason Licht, running that scouting department, running the helm of the ship, essentially, I feel really good. And I just kind of wanted to make this video to kind of show that point, talk about some of the guys that Jason Licht has already brought in, remind you guys that, yeah, Jason Licht is a good drafting GM when you really break it down. And, yeah, that's just kind of give my thoughts on the ranking overall. But anyway, guys, what do you think about this, ranking of Jason Licht as the 3rd best drafting general manager in the league today? And what do you just think your thoughts of Jason Licht as the general manager as a whole? Give me your thoughts. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. And I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.